Welcome to Wholesale Hardknocks. This podcast was created by me and Daryll squatting up together and doing badass shit. And we want y'all to do the same. So most importantly, squat up in the comments and do deals together. And then like the video, subscribe to the channels. Yo, Daryll, take them away, big dog.
It's about community building. Join the community, reach out, squat up, join the campfire, baby.
Let's go. Wholesale Hard Knocks, baby. Episode 39. We got two of the most handsome guys on YouTube with us today. The Wholesale Hard Knocks boys. What's up, Mike? How you feeling, baby?
Yo, baby. I'm feeling, man. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. Me and Daryll just had a wonderful conversation backstage about some things. And the business is like, it's going crazy this week, bro. Like, it's always booming. Like the business is always booming, whether we're cranking with contracts or we're not, it's still always booming, you know. But a lot of adversity has been hitting us this week.
Okay,
like a lot of things, not just one thing. It's a combination of just a whole lot of stuff, and I'm so grateful for it. The old Mike, right, would have, if this was maybe 4 years ago, Mike would have been kind of bitching about it. But now I'm just excited because I know whatever's happening is for a reason. I know something good is coming up. I can feel it. And I know, most importantly, out of everything that is happening, it's a learning process.
Yep.
And that's it, bro.
You know, it's interesting, right? I love the mindset that you have going through, because if you guys know what Mike's going through, shit is tough, right? And as entrepreneurs, as investors, if you want to start a business, run a business, things are not going to be easy. You know, the reality of things, we solve problems every single day, all day. Whenever somebody asks me what I do, I tell them I'm a problem solver. That's my job description, right? And as a business owner, you get judged based on how much stress you can take, how many problems you can solve, and how people perceive you during that, right? Like if you're letting all the stress of the business stress you out, and you can't function at home, and people, you know, are looking at you differently, right? That says a lot, right? So it's just may not be for you, right? On running a business is not for everybody. You have to be able to take a crazy amount of stress to be successful, you know. And I look at it as I had high performance training with Keston, right? Some of you guys know Keston. If you guys don't know Keston, check out the interview. We interviewed Keston early. Yeah,
that was a good interview too, bro.
That was a great one. It was a great interview.
Killer.
Very powerful.
We're gonna get Keston back on here.
We have to get Keston back on here. I actually want to go back and watch that one, because Keston dropped so many gems, man. It was crazy. And one thing that I learned, what's up, Lee? My guy. One thing that I learned from Keston was about the terror barrier. Mike, you know what the terror barrier is?
Explain it. You told me before.
Right. So the terror barrier is it's pretty much your path to growth, right? So I want everybody to picture a line, right? Picture a line that it separates two sides, right? So it separates, one side of that line is where you're at right now. The other side of the line is where you want to get to, right? So imagine, like, look at this line right here in between me and Mike. You see that barrier right there? That's the terror barrier. So me right now, I'm trying to get where Mike's at, right? All my goals, all my dreams, everything that I want to accomplish is over here with Mike, right? On his side of things, on this side of the line. He's over there. He's that's where the party's at, right? I need to get over there with Mike. And right here, this barrier is in my way, right? And what this barrier is a lot of stress, a lot of bad shit happening, nothing going right. Like, it seems like everything's going wrong, right? And now when I get to this barrier, right, I have one option. When I'm facing all this bullshit, right, I have one option. I have two options, right? I could either turn around and walk away from all my dreams, all my goals, everything I'm looking to accomplish, or I can put my freaking head down and run through this wall, and now I'm over here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm over here with you, Mike. You moved over, but I passed this terror.
I was gonna say, bro, now I gotta go through the wall.
Yeah, now you got to go through the terror barrier. You know why? Because you reached a new level. You're on your way to a new level, right?
That's a bar.
That's a bar, right? Because you never stop when you're running the business. You never stop going through these terror barriers. You never stop unless you get comfortable.
I was just gonna say it's a bad thing if you stop going through them shit.
It's a bad thing if everything is just easy, right? Because if shit is easy, what can you possibly be learning? Right. Yeah. So when shit gets tough, and I was talking to Mike, I commended Mike for this. I said, I love your attitude, right? Because what Mike's going through is not easy. I've been there before, right? In a very similar situation. It is not easy, right? And I told Mike, I said, bro, I love your attitude through this, right? Because instead of Mike bitching up and becoming a victim, right, and asking why me, why is this happening when he's at the terror barrier, he is grateful. He's looking forward to it. He's like, damn, thank you, God, for giving me new challenges, right? New obstacles to tackle so I can learn and become a better person, better entrepreneur, more richer, right? Like everything is going to work out for the better once Mike solves these challenges, solve these problems that he has, and gets through this terror barrier. So I'm happy for you, bro. You got more to you, bro. Dog.
Listen, I'm excited for it. Whenever something crazy happens, I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm human, right? So when something crazy happens, you do have some sort of like crazy feeling in the beginning. And you get caught off guard and you're like, dang. But I love DJ Khaled said this, right? You know how he had his album called God Did?
Yeah. God did.
Yo, this is what he said. Yo, that's my guy, bro. He goes, when I first I got a text message, right? No. He was like, I was on a phone call and they said something so crazy. He's like, this is how he came up with the word God did. He's like, or the phrase God did. He's like, I got off the phone with the phone call and like the conversation was just so messed up that, you know, like when you have a bad conversation, you'll just look at your phone like this, like for a second.
Yeah.
And he's like, somebody was doubting him or something like that. And he put the phone down. He was just like,
God did.
They ain't believing this. Okay. God did.
God did. Okay.
Right. Yeah. And that's the type of feeling that I've been having. I'm just like, in the beginning, you look at your phone like, damn, bro. Like what? You're human, right? You're gonna give off that damn, bro, a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you're just like, yo, God did. Like God believed.
Facts,
this is all happening for a reason. So I'm freaking grateful. Let's go. So let's get into it today. Today we're going over sales. Okay. We have done a sales training before on Wholesale Hardknocks, and it freaking almost melted the YouTube universe. Like, I still get DMs to this day.
Real quick, bro. I'm sorry. We had a comment, Liban. He says, when something crazy happens to me, I used to think I didn't deserve it. So saying like, damn, I don't deserve this, right? I don't deserve to go through this, right? Almost, and it's crazy, right? It's almost perspective is everything, right? Perspective is everything, right? Because Mike, he's saying, thank you for putting me in this situation to learn, right?
I'm almost saying that I didn't deserve it. Like, dang, bro, I didn't deserve what you're about to give me.
Right. It's the opposite, right? He's saying like, man, I don't deserve how good you're being to me, right? But Liban and Liban, I'm not calling you out, but because I used to think the same way, right? We all used to, before we realized, right? Of course, just speaking for myself, right? Before I realized about like abundance mindsets and like the law of attraction and everything and the right way to think, I used to think the same way, bro. And it's just ungrateful, right? And gratitude is the key to everything. So if you're grateful for every single situation, and Liban, I'm speaking through you because I'm sure you already. Well, he
even said in the comment, I used to think.
Exactly, right? I used to think, right? So he figured it out. This is kind of for everybody who hasn't figured it out yet. The secret is gratitude, right? So every single situation that you can be grateful for, every single situation that happens to you in general, be grateful for it. You know, Mike, I'm gonna tell a funny story, and then we can get into sales training, bro. This may go a little longer than an hour.
We're here all night, dog.
I can't go all night. I got caught, but
you got a date,
real quick. So this is actually something I'm going through right now.
Okay.
Right. So I'm in this apartment. I actually took over somebody's lease to move into this apartment.
Okay.
Right. Now, the haters may say that we're not allowed to do this. Haters being the leasing office. So what I did was I moved in anyways, and I just paid my rent, because who's going to evict somebody who's paying rent on time? I know as a landlord, I'm not. If you're paying rent on time, then you're good. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a multifamily building. The last thing people want to do is evict somebody, right? So I'm living in this apartment, very nice apartment complex. Now I'm not supposed to be here, but they're letting it slide, right? They see me every single day. They're kind of letting it slide because I pay my rent. Now, I also have a freaking 60-pound pit bull who a lot of pit bulls are freaking discriminated against, and they can't be in apartments. Is your pit bull
paying rent?
No, he wasn't paying rent. This fucker just sleeps all day like he pays rent.
Okay.
But I have him, and that was another problem. They're saying I can't have him. So not only am I being extra cautious about what I do, I also have to hide my big ass dog who is a crackhead, and he needs to walk, he needs to go outside and all that good stuff, right? So I made it work. I was making it work for the past 3-4 months, and just recently, just like a few weeks ago, last week actually, I'm walking up the steps with my dog. I have some things in my hand, so I put the stuff down. He got excited and pulled away from me and ran up to somebody else. Now he ran up to them. They have a dog, and the guy was like super scared, right? Like, and I get it, right? You see a big ass dog running to you, a pit bull at that, you're gonna be scared.
I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I would be petrified.
Exactly. I get it. I get it 100%. This dude was scared. He kicked the shit out of my dog. Like, bro, it was crazy. Bro, kicked the shit out of him. So I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I walk up to him, and this dude, like, I walk up to him, and my dog's super nice, right? Like, he wasn't trying to bite the guy or anything. Like, he was just going to play with the dogs. And I go grab my dog. I'm like, yo, what you doing, bro? This dude puts his hand on his gun, right? And I'm like, ooh, you bitch. He caught me lacking. I don't got no gun, right? Now, everybody in Arizona has a gun, and this dude puts his hand on his gun. I'm like, you're not going to do shit with that gun. I call his bluff. I'm like, you're not going to do shit. And I'm like, all right, we don't got to talk about that. We get into it, blah, blah, blah. I walk away. This guy ends up telling on me in the front office. And I talked to him. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't think anything was going to happen. I tried to continue to lay low. And I was talking to Marlon, because Marlon, he came on here talking about it with the house, right? I'm actually moving into the growth house that he was talking about. He coined it the Mindset Manor. Yes, sir. But we're moving into that house, $1 million house with 6 entrepreneurs, and the goal is just to everybody become the best version of ourselves, right? Like we have a goal, everybody has a goal, and our goal is to hit our duty is to hit our goal, right? And we're going to help each other hit that goal, right? So the Mindset Manor is what's happening, right? And I told Marlon, I'm like, I was talking to him on the phone. I'm like, bro, no one's supposed to move into there, but my lease is up in this apartment in June or July, right? It's in June or July, and I'm like, would you hold my spot until then? And he's like, bro, I just can't do it. So I'm like, all right, great. Give me 48 hours. I'll figure something out with this apartment, and I'll let you know. He's like, all right, cool. Bro, no lie to you. The very next day after I got off the phone with him, I got the eviction notice, and they kicked me out for having my dog. And I'm like, bro, that is God. That's nobody else but God.
That ain't nothing short but God. Just giving
nothing short but God.
And giving you a straight up sign like, yes, you're leaving.
Go, get out of here, right?
Yes.
And I brought this up. I say that to say, when shit gets tough and you get this news out of nowhere that you are not expecting, right? You have 2 options. You can either like Colleen said, if you have not seen that episode with Colleen, that's like one of our earliest episodes. Go check that out, because she says when shit gets tough, you have two options. You can either become a bitch or you become a boss, right? And I think about that constantly. So you gotta drop that horn, bro.
Shout out to Colleen, yo. If y'all didn't watch Colleen's episode, yo, this talk about adversity, yo, homegirl, she got shot.
Bro, she was dead, bro. She died and came back to life.
Yeah, not even just got shot. She literally died, came back to life. And when she woke up, she was like, hey, where's my computer? I got to get back to work. And now she calls herself Deals on Wheels.
Deals on Wheels.
Deals on Wheels. And she literally wheelchairs to her appointments and just locks up the wholesale deals and crushes it. She's an absolute gangster. You guys got to follow her on Instagram. She's a beast. But dude, that's literally just a sign. And same thing like with what I'm going through. I just took it right away as I ain't gonna hold you. There was like that moment where you hear the news and you're just like,
fuck.
Dang, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But then immediately, I'm not even talking about like a couple hours or something. I'm talking about minutes. Like minutes. I immediately snapped out of it and was just like, oh, this is just a sign.
Yeah. Because you're aware, bro.
Thank you. I've been praying for change.
Exactly.
I've been praying for you to propel me forward. And I think that we should do an episode maybe next month about just like meditations and like a spiritual type of episode. Because
bring on a special guest for that.
Who's that?
They gotta wait and see, bro.
Oh yeah,
they gotta wait and see, bro. But nah,
because that's really how I take a lot of adversity. I take it as a sign, right? And I take it as a sign that I'm being propelled forward, and that whatever I've been praying is being answered, right? Whether it looks like it or not. A lot of people look at like, bad things that happen as just bad things that happen, but they're a sign, bro. They're a sign that change is coming. If nothing ever bad or nothing ever different happens in your life, there's a problem. Then you're probably just sitting there living under a freaking rock.
Sure, 1,000%. All right, bro. Enough of this mindset work. Let's get into some sales, baby.
Let's get it. So today, as we're almost 20 minutes into this freaking episode, we're going over sales. Sales is like me and Daryl's shit. We are like badass closers. That's what has made us money in this industry. That is the skill that we have learned that has allowed us to build businesses, right? It's a skill that we back our businesses off of. Now, I say this to say sales is important, because if you don't have sales, you do not have any conversion, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in like your friendships, whether you're at the grocery store and you're trying to get your way at the grocery store or whatever. Literally, sales is a part of your whole entire life. And if you don't learn how to convert people to the message that you're trying to get across, you are going to fall victim to everybody else selling you. So Grant Cardone has a book called Sell or Be Sold. And it literally just talks about how everything and anything in life, you're either being sold something or you're selling something. And Daryl, I don't know about you, but I think I would like my messages to get across
for sure,
to people, right?
Without a doubt, bro. It's sales. Sales is important for a lot of reasons, bro. Like I was actually on a discovery call with somebody. Raphael used car sales discount. It's sales. You can
That's
make
like
a lot of
one
people
of the biggest sales.
A lot of money in used car sales for sure. I was telling somebody we were on a discovery call, and he was looking to get into my sales training course and everything like that. And he's like, I have a dilemma, Daryl. Like, if I pay you for sales training, what money am I going to have for my marketing and my list and everything like that? And I'm like, bro, look, I'm not telling you to join my community or anything like that, right? But this is what I would do in that situation, right? I would pay to learn a skill that I'm going to have forever, right? Because once you can sell, Mike, how can you ever be broke?
Bro,
Like,
Here's what I would say. I would say, hold on. Let me get this straight.
Go ahead.
You're about to dump money into marketing, and you don't have the tool to convert the things that you're about to dump money into.
Exactly.
Would you rather have the tool, or would you rather have the supplies first?
Exactly. And that's kind of what I was.
If you have nothing to build it with.
Exactly, bro. And that's what I was getting at with him, right? And I was explaining to him, and I'm like, look, you learn how to sell, right? You never have to pay for a list or marketing again. Because if you can close a person to send you leads, and you know what I'm saying, you never have to pay for a lead. I'm like, bro,
if you can close somebody to send you leads, you can close somebody to actually sell you their property.
Exactly, bro. Yo, I don't know about people in the chat, but one thing I don't do is pay for marketing. I told Mike in the background how I get my marketing paid for now, and we ain't gonna talk about that today. I'll talk about that in the future YouTube video. But you learn how to close. You can close people and have them help you do just about anything. You know what I'm saying? You guys help each other, right? Because what is sales, Mike? Sales is, to me, sales is solving somebody's problem, right? Like everything with sales is there's a problem out here that somebody can't solve on their own. So we sell them that solution. So that's what I think about sales, right? Like a lot of times salespeople get a bad name. Like they talk about this in Sandler, right? They say when you're growing up, your mom didn't lead you, and they didn't say, yeah, I want my son to be a salesperson. No, that's not what they say about salespeople. Salespeople are greasy people. Salespeople are scumbags. Salespeople are here to steal your money. Salespeople go to conferences and learn how to manipulate you all day, right? That's what people are bred to think salespeople are. But sales, if you ask me, every time I sold something or bought something, I solved the problem for somebody.
Every time you're having a conversation, that's pretty much what it is. You're selling them on your message. You know what I mean? Just like me and you having a conversation backstage. Like you're giving me ideas and you're selling me on, hey, Mike, here's why, I think it might be a good idea for you to take these ideas and run with them. Yeah. And I'm like, dang, bro, that's actually a really good idea. And it's your responsibility as a friend to do that.
Yeah.
It's our responsibility as salespeople to get our message across and to have that message be solidified in somebody's brain. So what happens is, though, is just like the world has bad eggs, the world has bad people in it. The sales world has bad people in it. Every industry has their bad eggs. So what you're talking about, Daryll, yes, there are some people that are like some slimy salespeople that that learn these freaking these crazy like manipulation tactics and everything like that in order to get their way in a sale. That dude, like, that's a bunch of bullshit. You can do it. I'm not saying that you can't. Like, there's people out here that are like, very slick with their words and very like in there and trying to, manipulate a whole entire situation. There's people that do that, but that's not the way to do this ethically. That's not the way to do this in a way that's righteous. You know what I mean? So sales to me at a high level is everything. It's like everything in life. How good or bad of a person would I be if I was talking to Daryll and trying to manipulate his situation? Like, I'm Daryl's friend and I'm like, hey, I'm really good at selling Daryll on my message. Let me try to like manipulate and sleaze Daryll into doing some BS that he probably shouldn't be doing. But I want to do it for my benefit. Like that's just not being a good person.
Bro, can I talk about that really quick?
Yeah.
Bro, so I came to all right. This is an old Daryll, right? This isn't Daryll today. All right. So if y'all in the chat, don't judge me. I know Mike ain't judging me because that's my brother. So
old Daryll is probably like old Mike, so I can't judge.
So when I learned how to sell, right, I would practice my craft on beautiful women that I liked. And I noticed one day, man, this is not cool. I can use words and I can use empathy and I can use sales tactics to get everything I want.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. That's a lot of power that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like as a salesperson, you have a lot of power. If you do it the right way, right? You can have a lot of power, and you can control a lot of things. You can get people to do a lot of things for you if you know how to really sell, right? But you have that thing, that little voice in your head that tells you, hey, you know, is this the right thing to do? Right? Ask you that question. Is this the right thing to do? And now you have a choice to say yes or no, right? Like I was in a phase where I was like using all my sales tactics, getting whatever I want with these girls. And I had to ask myself, like, I had that voice pop up, like, yo, is this the right thing to do? And I'm like, nah.
Nah, bro. Yeah. I
all.
love that, bro. I love
Not at
that.
all.
Because here's what happens. If that's how you're operating in your sales, then you're going to operate that in other aspects of your life. And then let's just bring up that example that you just brought up. If you were operating that, like if you were using that in every conversation that you were having with a new chick that you were talking to, you were going to end up with the wrong chick.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're going to end up with a chick. Maybe you get married to that chick and it ends up being a terrible divorce.
Yep.
Right? All because in the beginning, Daryl wanted to have a slick conversation to get in some pants.
Yep.
Right? And that shows out in every aspect of your life. So how you do anything is how you do absolutely everything. So first things first, when it comes to sales, like do this when you're learning sales, do it as an ethically thing. Like you want to come into this as something that's ethical. But here's why sales is so important. I'm going to go high level, then I'm going to go into like just wholesaling real estate. Sales is so important in general because of some things that we just talked about. Like, yo, you want to help your homie out. Your homie's going through some things and you have been through the same things before and you want to help him out. Like you got to convey a message to somebody, to your friend, to get them to agree to what you think is the best route for them. Right? You want to do that with a significant other, same thing. You know what I mean? You want to do that with a sibling.
Oh, bro, how good does sales, understanding sales work with like your significant other and like family members, like for arguments, for instance?
It saves relationships. Legitimately. And I've done this with my own relationship. Like if it wasn't for sales, I probably would not be in the relationship that I'm in right now. Reason being is because and we'll go in after this, after we go over all this stuff, we're going to go into 5 things that you need in order to be the best salesman possible or sales lady possible. So we're going to go into that. But if I didn't understand these 5 things, then I would be talking to my significant other and communicating with my significant other in a way that caused a lot of friction and stress in the relationship. But because I have learned this stuff, like it allows me to maneuver my relationships in the right direction. Not that I'm trying to manipulate them. I'm doing things righteous, right? I'm doing things all for the better. But here's the thing. I was put on this earth to know how to communicate. That's part of my purpose. You know what I mean? So it's also part of my purpose to do this in an ethical way so that I can affect the world in a righteous way, you know? So that's it at a high level. Now, when we go into real estate, right, and especially wholesaling, because all wholesaling it's marketing and it's sales, okay? You have to generate leads, and then you have to convert those leads. That's what marketing and sales breaks down to. And sales is important is because right here, this marketing thing, it costs a lot of money. So to generate leads, it costs money. Unless you're like Daryl and you already have this figured out and people bring you free leads, you're most likely going to have to pay for leads and it's going to cost money. So what happens is you pay for these leads and then you don't have this thing here, the sales thing, and you're just burning all your money away. And it's actually what I was doing in the beginning. I was generating a lot of leads and I was always good at talking to people, right? I've been a hustler my whole life. I was a barber. Like I've done a bunch of things where I was, talking to people and getting tips and all that type of stuff. So I understood how to talk to people. I just didn't understand how to convert. I didn't understand how to get them to like literally sign the dotted line. That's a whole extra thing that you got to learn. Okay. So I didn't fully know the sales thing. I thought that I did, right? Because I thought, hey, Mike, I'm a guy who could talk to anybody. I can talk, I could talk myself out of handcuffs if I wanted to. That's who I thought I was, until I realized that wasn't the case. And I was spending a lot of money on marketing, not converting those leads and burning a lot of money. And it wasn't until I learned sales. And once I learned sales, that's when I started converting those leads into money, right? So literally, if you don't understand sales, or if you don't have somebody on your team that can convert these leads into contracts, then you do not have a business. So you need both of them. You need leads and you also need to convert. But let's think about this, Daryl. The coolest part about it is, think about this. You need two things in business. You need leads and you need to convert.
Okay.
Can you make money with only leads?
Yeah. You can, but you can't. All right. You can technically, but not in the way that you're talking about. Not in a wholesale. Not to wholesale them. No.
What, you could sell those leads to somebody else?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Dude,
you still need to learn how to sell.
Yes, you have to convert somebody to want to take your leads and nurture your leads.
Yeah.
So if you only have leads, can you make money?
Nah.
If you can convert, can you make money?
1,000%.
Yes.
1,000%.
If you have the conversion aspect of the two, dude, you will never have to worry about leads.
Bro, you watch Undercover Billionaire?
Oh, actually, I did. Yeah.
But you heard about the concept, right? Like they dropped these billionaires off they dropped Grant Cardone off in fucking Pueblo, Colorado. I have a property under contract in Pueblo, Colorado. That's why I remember that name. But
do you really?
Yeah, I do. But they dropped them off in Pueblo, Colorado with $100, and their job is to make money. How do you think they make money? Because they can sell. They can sell themselves.
Yeah, homeboy ran up to a freaking place that had a lot of RVs. That's where he started, and he sold himself on being able to live in one of the RVs outside in the lot.
No, it was a truck. I think it was a truck. It was a truck. He sold the guy to let him sell the truck, and he'll get commission on the truck or something like that.
And then he could stay on the property.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Gangster, bro.
So you know how to sell. There's never an opportunity. Like the only way you can be broke if you know how to sell is literally if you're just lazy. You gotta be a lazy ass to not make money if you know how to sell.
Yeah,
so many different ways.
Legitimately. So once you learn sales, like once you really truly master sales, you should never be broke ever again, unless you can ever talk, right? And then I could probably still find a way if I couldn't talk to sell.
Exactly.
So literally, like if you learn this thing called sales, your life will change forever and you will never go broke ever again. So before we get into the 5 things, Daryl, let's go over. Do you have anything else to add to it?
Let me just add one thing. And another thing they talk about in Sandler, if they talk about just the mindset of a salesperson, right?
Yeah.
If you want to be successful in sales, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, and you are currently, and this is what they talk about in the book. Now you don't have to take this advice. This is advice that I took, but you don't need to take this advice. And what they talk about in the book is if you truly want to be a great salesperson, and right now you're getting that comfortable paycheck every single week, every other week, cut it out. And if you're in a position to where you can ask your boss for commission, go for commission. Because sales is you eat what you kill. Right? You don't get paid until you close a deal. And it's something interesting about that mindset where you find out a lot about yourself. When your bank account is at freaking zero and you need to fucking come up with some money and you need to sell somebody something, you'll figure it out. Right? Like, so that's what they talk about in Sandler. Again, you don't have to follow that. If you're on commission, if you're like a closer on somebody's team, if you're a lead manager and you have a job as well and you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, I understand bills got to be paid, but you're learning how to sell, baby. Figure something out, sell some shit, make that money, work on commission only because the mindset is just different. You eat what you kill in sales and it helps you not get comfortable. So
100%. Yeah, I worked as a barber. My first day in the barbershop, right? So I always like had my side hustles with my barber business. I always used to do like at home cuts and shit like that. But I never like actually got in a professional setting. In the very first day I did, it was like New Year's Eve. Never cut in a professional setting in my life. And I wasn't that good at doing haircuts.
yeah.
Worked there for like 6 months. Okay. First off, first day, cut hair like shit. Busiest day of the year, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I cut hair like absolute dog shit. And I probably did a quarter of the haircuts that the other dudes did in that shop. But I still walked away with like $250 on the day, half of that coming from tips.
Okay.
Coming from tips, why? Because I came from before that time that I was working at the barbershop, I came from helping somebody out do a sales job pretty much. And my job was to walk into attorneys' offices and get referrals from them. That was my job before I went and was a barber full time.
Okay. So you knew how to talk to people.
So I knew how to talk to people. And I just knew, I remembered. I was like, dude, I'm not going to be able to cut the best here. These freaking guys have like 20 years of experience. Their lineups are freaking crisp. Like everything is just crazy. They're nasty at cutting hair. I absolutely stink compared to them. I was all right, but I absolutely stink compared to them. So I know I have to up my game. So that day, I just knew, hey, I got to do whatever it takes. I got to have the best customer service. I got to have the best conversations. I got to even plant seeds about tips, right? And I'm just doing all the things to make sure that I make the most money, the most amount of money that I can. From that day until the day that I left, I was making probably the same amount as every single barber in there, and probably doing 3/4 of the haircuts that they could because they were way faster than me. But I was making more tips than everybody. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
Like all because I just knew service. On all my haircuts, I would have the freaking hot towel going. You would come to me and have a dope conversation. I even left that place and was able to go to a place where I just rented a chair and I brought all my clients with me and I was able to eat. And I was good.
Tough.
So in 6 months, I took all my clients out of there and left. But it was all because of sales.
Tough.
And I didn't even really understand how to close at that point. That's a whole nother aspect of sales.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing for another day.
So before we get into the 5 things, right? Let's go over some church announcements, bro. What do you got this week?
Yo, if you still haven't joined my Discord community, the dog pound Discord, what the freak are you doing? I actually dropped the ball, right? We were doing a role play competition last week. I dropped the ball on getting the sign-up sheet out. This is why, visionaries need integrators and people to help them stay organized, because I didn't get the information out like I was supposed to. But we're doing a role play challenge. Let's not say this weekend. This weekend's busy. They were doing a role play challenge next weekend. We're going to set it up where Mike is actually going to be a guest judge. Mike, I don't know if you're still available for it, but we're going to do this next weekend,
bro.
But yeah, that's what we're doing. So make sure y'all are joining the Discord if you're not already in the Discord. I'll drop a link in the side. I actually cannot pull this up right now. So somebody who's in the chat right now, if you are in the Discord and you're in the chat, can you please do me a favor and drop the link to the Discord in the chat? I will also be announcing on Friday the person who sent the most links out for the Discord channel. And that person is going to win a one-on-one with me for an hour. Going to push them in the right direction. Going to put their business in the hot seat. So yeah, that's what we have for announcements. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, sign up for the role play competition, and jump in there. We're role playing every single day in there for the next 60 days. I drop sales tips in there. I do underwriting. I do.
Wait, hold on. You have this free Discord channel.
Yeah.
And you are you personally in there doing role plays?
Sometimes. I was in there today. I was in there this morning.
That is gangster, bro.
Yeah, I was in there this morning.
Holy crap.
It runs without me, though. They do role plays in there without me every single day. every day.
That
Lebon
is
be in
crazy.
there. Shout out to Lebon. Lebon be in there. But yeah, they role play every day, bro. And I go into I may be doing work, and this is early too. This is around like 6:30, 7 a.m. Arizona time. So I'm up, I'm doing work and stuff, and I'll check the Discord. But I wouldn't even check the Discord. All I hear is alerts. Everybody jumping into this room, and I check in there, and there's like 8 to 10 people in there role playing. Early in the morning, getting it in, putting the work in. So
That's so good.
yeah, it sucks. I can't send the link right now because my phone's acting, or the laptop's acting, but Discord's acting stupid on my laptop. But I'll get that. I'll send that out for you guys. We'll put it in the link in the description below.
So guys, if you're in that role play, you're gonna get, and you win, you're gonna get a chance to have your life changed like Evan's life changed. I remember last week, Evan's episode. If you guys haven't watched Evan's episode, and I know we keep referring back to episodes, but we've been having some good episodes, but
good ass episodes.
Evan came on here and we just broke down his business, his direct to seller business, and why he's not having the success that he wants. And his brain was melted. He was like, holy crap. My brain was actually melted. Daryll, do you know that episode helped me a ton?
Really?
Yeah, legitimately. After that episode, I sat back and I was like, holy crap. Me and Daryll just broke down the business, and like, I need some of that advice that me and Daryll gave right now to help my business out.
It's crazy, bro.
I swear, I really did. And dude, we're getting like so crazy. We generated 18 leads yesterday.
Damn.
Or the day before that. And part of it was from the advice that I was giving Evan. I rethought about it, and I was like, oh, I need to go implement that advice that I gave him. Implemented it, and then we had like 18 leads. So if you guys end up winning Daryl's role play, you'll be able to get in one of those hot seats so that we can break down your business.
Facts. Mike, what you got?
So I have the same thing, same type of deal. The free Facebook group. Go to joinblueprintrei.com. Joinblueprintrei.com.
Okay.
And you'll get access to that free Facebook group. I just did a Zoom today. It was really dope. We were in there hanging out for like 2 hours, underwrote a couple deals. We were just chopping it up real estate. People's brains were getting melted. It was good. I have a lot that I want to do with that group. Like, I want that group to be my baby. I actually was saying that we were going to lock it up at the end of the month and charge for it, but we ended up thinking, hey, let's not do that. Let's just keep this thing free and keep pouring as much value as possible. I have all these seeds, and I just want to keep sowing the seeds. That's my job. I don't want to be paid to sow the seeds. I just want to sow the seeds. I just want to give as much information out as possible because people have done that for me.
Yep.
Right. And now it's my job to take the seeds that I've got and just give it to y'all. So literally anything in there, like in that Facebook group, people have a question and I'm answering it with a Loom video. People have any deals that they want to underwrite, I'm hopping on a freaking Zoom with you. Whatever you need in that Facebook group, like you're pretty much in like Mike's world once you join that Facebook group. I'm on top of that shit. So get in that Facebook group. If you
did you say you were keeping it free, bro?
Yeah, dog. I'm keeping it free.
Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go.
I really thought
I don't miss out on that opportunity. Go reach out, join blueprintrei.com now, because if you know Mike, one thing about Mike is he doesn't know how to underdeliver. All he does is over-deliver and gives all the secret sauce out. I be trying to tell him, like, yo, chill out, bro. You're giving too much out for free. And he's like, nah, freak that. Let me help everybody get this money. Everybody eats, B. So I love that. Join.
You know what happened? There's a Zoom that I want to do for that group, right? And I told somebody that I wanted to do that Zoom, and they were like, don't do that. He's like, bro, then you'll never have anything to sell if you give that away.
Right.
I'm like, bro, it ain't about any of that.
Not about that, bro.
So put it this way, I'm doing that freaking Zoom.
Let's go.
Like, if you tell me not to do it, it's gonna make me want to do it even more.
Let's go.
let's get into the 5 things that a freaking closer needs in order to be
real quick, bro.
Salesperson.
Real quick, my bad. Before we get into that, I keep seeing people say in the chat that they don't know how to access the Discord. And they don't know how to get access to all the channels in the Discord. So once you join the Discord, you're gonna see 3 channels at first, and you're gonna see a welcome channel, a rules and verify channel, and a new invites channel. Now, if you click that rules and verify channel, it has the green check mark. Click that one, and you need to verify yourself, right? So click the link where it says verify me. There's a button on there that says verify yourself. So read the rules and then verify yourself. Wait a couple seconds. You'll have access to all the channels. Okay. So that's how you get access to everything. It will look like this at first, right? Click that green one in the middle, and then verify yourself, and you'll have access to all the channels.
Let's go. Shout out to my guy, Lee, man. He got a seller appointment today at 7 p.m.
Lock it
Lee,
up.
I don't know if you saw my my story the other day, but here's what I'm going to say if you haven't left already. If you're on site, the first thing that you do when you get on site to an on-site appointment is you either ask for a glass of water or a bottle of water or something like that. And this is to bond with somebody immediately, right? You feel comfortable in their house. Think about that. Daryll, if I come over to your house and I'm like, hey, bro, can I have a cup of water? You're like, for sure, bro.
That's a ninja, bro.
Like, and you give the water and it makes you feel really good. So you either ask for that or you say yes when they ask you if you want something. So I literally just went on an on-site appointment this week and it smelled really good in there. I'm like, holy crap, Nancy, this place smells freaking amazing. What are you cooking? And she's like, I got this bread. She's like, I got this dope cranberry bread. By the way, I'm not eating right now during that time of the day. But I'm like, she's like, do you want some? I'm like, yes, please. Like, give me all you got.
Yeah.
I stayed on that appointment for like 2.5 hours.
Dang.
Lady started calling me her grandson.
Dang.
So that's how you bond with somebody immediately. People feel good when they give to you. So receive it.
That's dope.
So let's get into the 5 things that a closer needs. There's 5 things that me and Daryll came up with. And out of these 5 things, if you guys can master these 5 things, you guys are freaking badass closers. Let's go over the first one. Number 1, tone. So your tone, Daryll, do you want to deep dive on tone when it comes to sales?
Bro, it's really easy, right? I'm gonna talk about why tone is so easy with like really quick, right? It's not even gonna take long.
Okay.
I actually just dropped a YouTube video about this right now, right? Just the other day, I dropped a YouTube video on tone. So, Mike, imagine I'm calling your name, right? Imagine, just picture I'm like, all right, this is gonna be weird. Just picture your father or somebody, right, calling your name, right? And it can go a couple different ways based on their tone, right? So if he says, Mike, that's one thing, right? But if he says, Mike, that's something completely different. Or if he says, Mike, or Mike, it's all completely different meanings to the same exact word. You're gonna respond a different way every single time. Every single different way I say your name, you'll respond differently every time, right? So if I go Mike, you're gonna be like, whoa, what's going on? But if I go Mike, you're gonna be like, hey yo, that's us. But you're gonna be like, let's go. You'll be more playful, right? Mm-hmm. So so tone is everything, right? There's 2 conversations that we're having every time we talk to somebody. One of them is verbal, right? One of them is what we actually one of them is what you say. Sorry, not verbal. One of them is actually what you say, right? Yep. The actual words that you use. And then the next conversation that you have is how you say it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times people don't really hear what you're saying as much as they hear how you're saying it. So if you have somebody who's yelling at you all day, but they're giving you great information, right? That may not be the right way to communicate with that person. They may be taking that information in as you're upset at them or you're mad at them, but you may not be mad at all, right? That's just how you communicate, So Tone is super important because you make people feel a certain way with how you say something, right? And people don't remember what you say, right? So they remember there's two conversations that you're having. It's what you say and how you say it. And people do not remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel. So if you can make somebody feel good with just your tone in general, right? Then you're already a step ahead of everybody. Another way that I use tone, bro, I use tone to make a friend, right? Because we talk about one of the most important things when we're talking sales is to make a friend. And I use my tone early in the call to make a friend. I assume that I already know this person, and I come in with a playful tone and an energetic tone, so this person could come in with the same type of tone. Because if we're both playful and energetic, it sounds like we're friends. We're having a great time. So instantly, I'm like, Mike, what's going on? This is Daryl calling about your property on Main Street. I'm not gonna be like, hey, Mike, this is Daryl calling about this house on Main Street that you're looking to sell. Would you maybe like to sell it potentially? Right? It's completely different, so tone is everything. Remember that. It's not
100%. And you know what's cool about that when it comes to the intro is people will, like, I bet I know you are, because I've heard a lot of your calls, really good at making the seller feel like they're your friend just by the way you said hi.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Like, literally, the way that you say hi, you can either come off as a salesperson or you can come off as a friend. Just by the tone of how you say hi or how you do your introduction. And if you come off as a friend, you're already starting the bonding of your relationship off to the right foot, like, immediately. So that's how important tone is. So, Daryl, I love what you're saying, how it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Okay. Yep. My acquisition manager, he was having a tough time closing. Okay. Or he was having a tough time. I'm not even saying just closing, but having a tough time getting the important information out of a sales call. When it comes to wholesaling, one of the most important things in our business is getting the seller's asking price. Right? Sometimes people can look at that as like, hey, this is kind of a tough question to ask. How much do you want for your property? And for some reason, he was just having a really tough time doing it, but he was saying the right thing. He just wasn't saying it the right way. Yep. So here's his tone throughout the whole entire call, right? Very even, right? And then all of a sudden, when he would go to ask the question, like, how much do you want for your property? The tone would either go here or it would go there. And his tone would change. So psychologically, to your point, when somebody's tone is different, psychologically, they automatically have something that goes off in their brain like, oh, something's wrong.
Yep.
Or something's different. There's something different about this person's conversation right now. And when that happened, he kept doing it. And then I caught onto it and I was like, wait, holy crap. Dude, it's just the way that you're saying it. You don't have to switch up anything that you're saying. Just say it with the same tone as you're saying everything else. That way the seller isn't scared shitless. Because you're asking for the ask price a different way. And now the seller's like, oh, wait, nope, putting my sales guard up. I'm not giving you the number. Because he asked me, he's like, bro, I don't get it. How do you just get the number out of all these sellers? Like, I never have a problem getting the asking price out of a seller ever. Like, literally ever. And he asked me, I'm like, bro, I literally just ask. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I can't even explain it at this point. I just ask. And then once I broke this down, I'm like, oh, it's not what I ask. It's how
you say it. Bro, people trip so much on how to ask for price and get the asking price out. You know how I ask for price, bro?
Mm-hmm.
I say, what do you want for this thing? That's it. Straight up. So what do you want for this?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll tell me. And you know what another thing is? And this leads into our second point, right? I asked the question. I'm sure you do the same thing. You ask the question with the confidence that you're expecting the answer back that you asked the question for, right?
Oh, that's really good.
That's so good, right? So let's jump into our second one, right? One of the second, and again, these aren't the only 5 things, right, that you should master to become a closer. These are 5 things that will help you become a way better closer, right? There's obviously more things to talk about. So the second one that we want to talk about tonight is confidence, right? A lot of people, they ask questions, and just to go off of what we were just talking about, right? They ask questions with very low confidence, and they actually expect the seller to give them a rebuttal or reject them or not give them the answer that they're looking for, right? So when you say something like, would you mind telling me, or could I ask you a question? Like, no, fuck that.
That's really good. We could do a whole entire episode of like, hey, would you mind if I asked this? Or like,
bro, just ask the question. Like,
I know this might sound weird, but can you give me the like, yo, no, just ask it, bro. It's normal. But
bro, when somebody asks me, when somebody says, hey, can I ask a question? You know what my response is every time? You just did. You just did. You just asked me a question.
I love that.
So just ask a freaking question.
It's literally just confidence.
Yeah.
Like when I bring sales all the time to the correlation of you having a conversation with one of your best friends. Like if me and you have a conversation backstage, we're confidently just talking back and forth. You don't hear my tone go either way. Like we're just having a very confident conversation. And I'd be like, Daryll, what do you think, bro? Like, what if I did this? Daryll, I mean, let me ask you a question, bro. What do you think if I did? You'd be like, wait, Mike, hold on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know what that is though, Mike?
What's that?
That's because we're already like, yes, it's because we're boys, right? That conversation comes so easy, but we're confident individuals already, right? And that's what I kind of want to talk about, right? How do you build confidence? And I talked about this. I'm pretty sure I talked about this on here. I know I talked about this on the Think Big podcast that we do on Tuesdays. But how you build confidence, and this is something that I learned from Brad Lee in Brad Lee's course, was he broke down the steps on how to build confidence. And picture it like this, Mike. Imagine. So we're homies, right? Imagine every time we plan to do something, I back out. Right. Every time we plan to do it. So like we have Wholesale Hardknocks. We say we're going to do Wholesale Hardknocks every Wednesday. Every Wednesday comes around, Daryll backs out. What's going to happen? You're going to start losing confidence in me. Now let's flip that. Imagine you keep telling yourself, yo, I'm going to work out tomorrow, or I'm going to eat right tomorrow, or I'm going to have 50 conversations tomorrow, or I'm going to call until I get a deal tomorrow. Right. And tomorrow comes around, you don't do nothing that you say you're going to do. What's going to happen? You're going to start losing confidence in yourself. Just like Mike started losing confidence in me because I'm not coming through. If you're not coming through for yourself, you're going to lose confidence in yourself. Right. And it's going to show. So why do you think some of the most confident people are people who work out every single day? Because they're freaking disciplined. They tell themselves, hey, I'm going to work out tomorrow. And that's what I'm going to do. Like me. I am committed to my commitments, right? Like Mike is committed to his commitments. When we get done off of this, I have another couple calls and I still haven't got my run in for today. And I'm committed to run 5 days a week. So I'm going to go run when it's dark and freaking cold outside, because that's what builds that confidence. One, doing the shit that you say you're going to do. And another thing, doing shit that not many people have the balls to do. I just ran a fucking half marathon on a random Sunday, bro. This type of shit that we do to build confidence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like ran a fucking 100-miler before.
Do something very, very uncomfortable.
Like, yeah.
And crush that shit. I did like an ultra marathon one time.
Yeah.
It was like I ran like freaking 53 miles in a whole day. And after that day, just as I can imagine when you did the marathon, bro, it's like ain't nothing can phase you.
Facts.
Like you could literally do anything.
Facts. Bro, like the first marathon I ran, felt like a brand new man, right? I had the confidence. Like, everywhere I walked after that, bro, chest out, smile, right? I'm glowing. And that's because I just did some tough shit that I can say that there was like 200 people that signed up and 80 people finished. You know what I'm saying? That's 1% of the freaking 1%. You know what I'm saying? Tell me that shit don't give you confidence, bro. So keep the promises you make to yourself and then go do some tough shit that you could be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you build confidence. Confidence is everything.
I love that.
On these calls.
Now, once you have the confidence in yourself to get on these calls and do these calls, okay, you're going to want step number 3, or you're going to want thing number 3, I guess, conviction. So you want to be convicted that what you're about to do on that call, and it takes confidence to have this amount of conviction, right? Because if you don't have the confidence, right, then you can never be convicted that you're giving somebody the right thing. But pretty much you want to be convicted that you're doing the right thing for the person on the opposite end of the phone, right? Like if you're selling a product, if you're selling them a car, if you're selling them a hoodie, if you're selling them sneakers, if you're selling them insurance, whatever you're selling, you should be convicted that that is the thing that they need, or the advice that you're giving should be the advice that they need. So I'm even convicted when I talk to a seller and I tell them to just go with a realtor, and I genuinely mean it, not just trying to like pull away.
Yep.
Like, no. You should be going with a realtor. I went on an appointment like a month or 2 ago. Guy had cancer. He was in a very bad situation. But literally his best bet was, the house is in pretty good condition. His best bet was to list it with a realtor. It wasn't to do any creative finance. It wasn't to sell it in cash. It wasn't to do an ovation. It wasn't to do this, that. His best bet was to go with a realtor. And I literally got out of my car after going back to my lender to talk about numbers, and coming back into the appointment, coming to his house to give him the number that we can give him. And I'm like, dude, I'm not even going to give you the number. Like I'm telling you, I wouldn't even do this deal because I know your best bet is just listing this thing on the market. So it's having that amount of conviction. So Daryll, how do you build that conviction?
So how to build it?
Yeah.
One, you need to truly believe in what you're selling. So if you don't believe in what you're selling, stop selling it.
So let's back up a little bit. How do you even believe?
Great question. So how do you believe? And this is a trick to hack it. Shout out to Alex Hermosi. He talks about this a lot. One of the ways that you trick yourself into being convicted is listening to seller testimonials.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So remind yourself why you're doing this, right? Because what did we talk about earlier? Sales is solving a person's problem. So if you remind yourself and you listen to these testimonials of people that preferably your company has already helped. So if you're a business owner and you have testimonials, you should play those for your team on a regular basis to remind them.
That's so good.
So good. To remind them on why they're doing this business, right? And that's how you trick yourself to be convicted. And it's important, right? Like a lot of us even forget to get testimonials, but testimonials should be in your sales process to get a testimonial. You solve this person's problem and you help them out. You should come around. It is your job. You are allowed. You are fully, like, you are required almost to go back and get a testimonial from that person. Get them to send you a video, tell them how you solve their problem.
I agree. So I think it breaks down to 2 things. It breaks down to 1, seeing the actual thing being done, aka like hearing proof, hearing a seller testimonial, or seeing somebody close a deal, or seeing somebody be helped in motion throughout the whole entire thing, right? Seeing the actual thing be done, but also learning. Like once you go learn something, you have confidence in it.
For sure.
And you're convicted that, this thing that you just learned. It's like, when you learn something new and you want to go tell everybody, you want to go tell your friends about it, you want to go tell your family members about it. It's like that. You're convicted. Like what you just learned is some dope shit. So you want to go learn. Okay.
Bro, I have a lead manager, well, actually a closer right now, who he was on the street for a little bit. Then he had got a couple objections on the sub-2 contract. And and then next thing I know, like next couple of weeks, he starts slowing down. His productivity starts slowing down. And not really his productivity started slowing down, but his execution slowed down a little bit, right? Like he wasn't getting contracts. And I'm like, yo, what's going on, bro? And he's like, yo, I guess I've just been he's not in sub-2, mind you, right? So he he's like, yo, I've just been getting these objections about this addendum, the sub to addendum, and they're starting to actually make sense. So he's making sense of what the sellers are telling him, right? And the sellers are saying that, this document seems a little illegal and the wording is wrong, and he didn't know how to overcome it because he wasn't knowledgeable about the situation, right? And that's my fault for not.
He didn't learn it, and he didn't see it in fruition.
He didn't learn it, and he didn't see it, and now he's starting to not believe it. Well,
No. Now he's learning from somebody else. He's learning from the seller.
He's learning from the seller, right? Because beliefs are all learned. Most of our beliefs are learned, like in general. Everything that you believe has been passed down from somebody else, called a paradigm. Look that shit up. Shout out to Keston. He taught me that shit. But he's now getting new paradigms from these sellers that he's learning something new from. And he's starting to believe that what we're doing is illegal. So I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? And we went through the contract together, line by line, literally. And I'm like, ask me any question that you have about this. And he asked me every question that he had. And I'm like, do you still think this is illegal? He's like, no, not at all. I just needed the information to help to show them that this isn't illegal. I'm like, great. Guess who got a contract this week?
Homeboy
got a contract this week. So like it's about, and this is how this is the story that I usually tell about conviction, bro. Like imagine you're standing on a roof, right? You're just chilling on a rooftop, because you know how you live, right? Penthouse suite. My guy's a baller. He's on the rooftop, right? Chilling on the rooftop. Somebody's standing on the rooftop and they're trying to jump off. Now, Mike, are you going to say, hey man, I don't think you should jump off this building? And this guy may give you an objection. He may say, yeah, well, I think I should jump off this building. Are you gonna just say, okay, have a good one, and walk away? Or are you gonna be like, bro, no way I'm gonna let you jump off this building. You're coming with me, and you're gonna give him every reason why he shouldn't jump off this building?
I'd probably say something like, well, let's think about this. What would happen if you didn't jump off the building?
Because this guy's a fucking closer. Now, the moral of the story is, if you truly believe, right, that what this person is doing is the right thing, you're not gonna walk away so easily, right? So you have to truly believe, right? Conviction is everything. You have to truly believe. If you don't believe, go watch some testimonials. If you don't have testimonials of your own,
go watch me and Daryl's YouTube page.
Go watch our YouTube page and go. I'll shout out our mentor, bro, Pace Morby. He has actual testimonials on his YouTube page. Actual seller testimonials. So if you want to see that, look it up and pretend that is your testimonial.
Yeah, 100%. After we have conviction, we have structure. So let's go over really quick because we could get into the weeds of structure. We actually did a 2-hour live one time on structure alone.
Yeah, I say we make this one short and direct them to that video because there's nothing else we can say about structure, bro.
Literally. Structure is pretty much just like making sure that you get all your things in order on the sales call, making sure that you fill up all the buckets. I call them buckets. I have an 8-step sales process. I call it 8 buckets. You got to make sure that you have all 8 buckets filled in order to complete the sale. And that's the structure. And what it does, especially as a sales trainer myself in my business, right? When somebody brings me a lead and somebody brings me an opportunity and they're asking like, hey, I don't know what to do from here. All I have to do is look back at the 8 buckets and say, hey, bro, I don't think this bucket was filled up.
So good.
Right? So it's very easy as the leader of the sales team. Once you have a structure to abide by, they have to come to you with everything filled up. And if it's not filled up, then, hey, there's a reason why. Let's figure out why this isn't filled up. Why didn't you fill this thing up? Now we have like a hood that we can lift and figure out why something isn't working. So that's what a structure allows you to do. It allows you to really understand why you are or you aren't succeeding in the sale.
Bro, that's so good.
What needs to be fulfilled. That's really what it is. What needs to be fulfilled is the structure.
That's so good, bro. I was role playing with my closers on my acquisitions team today, and it's crazy that we're talking about this right now because he stops. One of my guys, he stops in the middle of the role play, and he's like, "Bro, I'm lost." I say, "You're lost because you're not following the sales structure." I said, "Where are you at in the sales system right now?" He told me. I'm like, "Okay, now what other buckets do you need to fill up?" Like you said, Mike, you have an 8-step system. I have a 6-step. I'm like, "What else do you need to fill up in the sales system?" He's like, "Oh, okay, I need to do this." Perfect. Do it. Great. You got it. You went in there and you finished the call, right? And it's super easy, like you said, for us as a sales trainer, as a sales managers on our team. But guess who else is easy for? Super easy for the seller, right? Imagine, like, you got to think of your competition, right? Think of what they're doing. Most of your competition has no organization or structure to their phone calls. They're just calling like bats out of hell, and they're, "Hey, Mike, calling about this property that you may be selling on Main Street." Okay,
You
great,
want 50,000? All right, let me get back to you. And then they
great.
call, and then it's the same conversation, and then nothing moves forward, and the seller's just sitting there freaking confused.
Exactly. Now, if you come onto a call with the seller and you have an actual structure, you know how relieved that person's going to be.
It literally happened to me last week. I talked to a seller. I was trying to book an on-site appointment with the seller. And once he talked to me, he was like, "Holy crap, I've been talking to all these people and they just been like running around in circles, but you actually have your stuff together. You're actually telling me like, hey, I have this, that, and that open on my schedule. Can we book a time here?" Like, you actually have some sort of structure that you're abiding by. And I was like,
Bro,
yes,
it makes our job so easy, bro. It makes our job
boneheads
so
that
easy.
don't know how to talk to sellers make our
We're
job
actually hurting ourselves and giving ourselves more competition by giving y'all this sauce right now, because most people that are in our markets and our competition, they have no clue what the hell they're doing. So they're making our job a lot easier, because once we come on and just sound like we know what we're doing, they already like us a lot more than everybody else.
It's a wrap.
But that structure, Mike, if you guys want to learn more about structure and the exact structures that we follow, go watch that YouTube video that we did 2 of them, I think. 2 sales training videos. Go watch. Did we do 2, Mike, or did we do 1?
I think we did 2. We did 1.
We did 2 sales training videos.
Yeah, we did 2.
Go
So
watch
just
those
type in
videos.
Wholesale Hardknocks sales training and you'll see it.
Yeah, go watch that, and then also join our communities, join the Discord, join the Blueprint Facebook group, and this is what we do all day, right? So you want to get better at structure. Yeah, join our communities.
The last thing in the 5 things that we were talking about is emotional intelligence, and I'll just talk about it really quick. Emotional intelligence, right? I break it down into 2 different things. Emotional intelligence is how you hear somebody, right? How you are perceiving them, how you interpret their personality, how you interpret who they are as a person, how aware you are of who this person is and what they're doing, right? Like who this person is in general. How aware you are that. The next thing about emotional intelligence is it's how can you communicate with that person? So you have one, you have to understand who this person is, right? To the T. So when you're hopping on a phone with a seller, it's, hey, what type of personality is this person? Is this guy somebody that wants to get stuff done quick, right? Is he like a red type of seller that we talk about, like that just wants to get stuff done quick and be like, yeah, come on. Or is he somebody that wants to talk a little bit and he's more nonchalant, right? Analyzing that. So the first part of emotional intelligence is analyzing who the person is. The second, or it could just be in general, analyzing the situation in general. The second is how you communicate through that situation. So once you find out, and this doesn't even have to be with just sales. This could be with just life in general. Analyzing the situation, or in sales, analyzing the person is the first part of emotional intelligence. The second part is how do you communicate with that person, or if it's just a situation in general, how do you take action on that situation? So do you combine the 2 effectively? And if you do combine the 2 effectively, then you have a very high emotional intelligence reading. Anything you want to add to that?
Bro, I think that's huge, bro. I think you hit the nail on the head with that. You know, a lot of emotional intelligence is just being aware, being aware of that other person, the things they say, how they say it, how they're feeling, and not being afraid to talk about it. One of the things that I learned a lot about emotional intelligence. It wasn't even like sales per se. It was more, I mean, it was sales, but it was in one of my past relationships. And I learned this after the relationship. You know, I was talking to Elena. Shout out to Elena. She helped me get through this relationship. It was crazy. But I was talking to her, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, what are the main issues that you guys usually have? And I'm like, every time we would get into, like, every time she would tell me something or tell me about a problem that she was having, I would just jump to a conclusion, right? And just give her an answer rather than seeing where she was in the situation and asking her, hey, do you just want to vent about this, or do you want feedback, right? Do you want a solution? You know what I'm saying? That may be a little off topic, but
no. That's very, very on topic. Because dude, I deal with that as well. It's hard. When you love somebody, bro, you want to just like give them the solution. But my girl will say this all the time. She's like, yo, I didn't ask for your opinion. I just want to vent. I'm like, all right, my bad.
Right.
Whenever I do like want to just give her some information, when she's not ready to receive it, it does not hit. And it actually starts a lot of friction.
And to bring that back into sellers, right? If you're dealing with somebody who just opened up and they sound like they're going through a really tough time, right? And maybe they're going through it, and they just open up to you and tell you everything they're going through. If you're not emotionally intelligent, right? If you don't have that emotional EQ and you don't know how to maneuver in those conversations and make that person feel better before you start talking about business, or make that person feel understood, because you necessarily don't need to make them feel better, right? A lot of emotional intelligence is just making them feel understood and making them feel heard, right? And if you can make that person feel heard and understood, they're going to like you a lot more, you know? And I see a lot of people make the mistakes of somebody tells them some sad stuff about what they have going on, about their situation. And this person, the closer or the salesperson, they take it straight to the property or another reason why they would sell this, right? They talk about irrelevant stuff when this is a human being on the other side of the phone that is opening up to you, right? Ask them that same question. Hey, would you just want somebody to listen, or would you like some advice about this? You know, like, super important. Emotional intelligence for sure. Mike, I think we can do a whole nother episode or podcast on this as well, bro.
I agree.
Yo,
I agree, bro.
Man, I wish we can keep going, bro. I wish we can keep going. I feel like we have some unfinished thoughts here. So, guys, if you guys want a sales training 201, the second part of this sales, right? Or we dive really deep and give you some more sales topics, comment below and let us know what your thoughts were today. Let us know if you want to see some more of this. If not, we get it, right? Make sure you guys are liking these videos, subscribing to our channels, me and Mike's channels, and make sure you guys hit that little bell that's next to that subscribe button, because Mike posts multiple times a week. I post shit every day, and we go live every single Wednesday at 5 o'clock AZ time, 7 o'clock Eastern time, and we're here to just drop gems. As you guys see, we don't know how to shut up, and we don't know how to keep the value at a minimum, right? We know how to just give everything, give all the sauce. So we will continue to do that until we are old and shrivelly and nobody wants to listen to us again anymore. And even then, I think we'll still do it.
Yeah, I think they still will.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll just listen to each other.
Yeah, pretty much. Or we'll do this show for our kids and grandkids and shit. Make them listen. But yo, this is Wholesale Hardknocks. This is episode 39. Guys, next week's episode 40. Oh my goodness. I can't believe we're at episode 40 already. 40 straight weeks.
Dang, bro.
Special for next week, bro. We may gotta do something special for next week, bro. We may have a special guest or something special for next Wednesday. You guys stay tuned and make sure you guys join up for that next week. But yo, I gotta bounce. Lee said he closed the freaking deal, baby. Let's go.
Hold on now.
Hold on, Mike. Let's get some sauce for him, bro. Let's go.
Let's go, Lee. That's what I'm talking about, big dog. Lee, tell me, hold on. Tell me you used the "Can I have a glass of water"?
Oh,
Actually, it probably wasn't an onside appointment if it just happened that fast.
yeah, that happened pretty fast. But I know what Lee did do. Lee came to the Dog Pound Discord and jumped in those role plays earlier.
He used it. I love it.
Got better, baby. Let's freaking go, Lee.
I love that.
Let's go, man. Bet. Yo, this was Wholesale Hard Knocks. I love the way we just ended this with a freaking deal, baby. Lee Bond, shout out to you, my guy. That's major. I love to hear that. Guys, make sure you're squatting up in the chat. As you guys see, there's people in the chat that are actually doing deals. If you have not done a deal yet,
talk about conviction, bro.
It's everything. As you guys see right here, shit is real. Shit is happening. My man said, I'm going to an appointment, came back 30 minutes later with the contract.
Bah.
Man, if you don't join these communities, I don't know what you're doing. Mike, I'll be here next Wednesday. You'll be here as well. Let's hope. Well, let's see if I think they're gonna be here as well. They better be here. Shit, this is sauce, bro. This is sauce. So we'll see everybody next week, man.
We out.
Peace.